Yo, Big Doug back again. What you saying to me? Hope you're all good. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, show some support for the channel. Let's get straight into it. Hey, what can I say, man? Just I've had time to sit back, I've had time to think about it, reflect on the weekend, take in all the stuff that's been going on, being said, and all the content that's been flying around, the pundits and everything. Had time to just sit down and analyze it all and go through it. And what I've taken away from everything, and even just like watching the game back, the highlights and stuff, is that we underestimated Pep Guardiola. I think Pep took a lot of the slander, a lot of what's been bouncing around personally, and I think with Man City that there's that personal rivalry with Man City and Arsenal now. I think there's that we don't like them, they don't like us. Obviously, Arteta and Pep Guardiola get along because they're ex like work associates and they're friends and whatever. But there is definitely a rivalry, and I think Arsenal, slept on that. I don't think they drummed up enough fight, enough determination, enough motivation to want to win that game. Like Arsenal, yeah, they like the idea of maybe winning the Carabao Cup, we want to go and win it, but did they really want to go and win it? See, the thing is, I said this and a few weeks ago before the game, and I said, it's either going to go one way, we're either going to go out there and win that game, or Man City's going to win it. And the thing is that it's that one up. They get that one up on us. They're going to celebrate it. They're going to take the piss out of us. They're going to mock us. Everyone's going to be singing from the hills, praising Man City and all of this. And that's exactly what happened and is happening. Arteta showed that he wasn't ready for this mental warfare with Pep. It's been sleeping, like previous seasons we played City a lot. There was a lot of that back and forth. There was enough stuff. We had the whole stay humble and all of that stuff that drove us that season to go and beat them 5-1 after all of that. But this season it's been quite quiet. We played City. Obviously we've been battling with them in the league, but we haven't really had to come up. We've only played them once, and that's it. And we drew 1-1 early on in the season, and that seems like a lifetime ago. So we've not had to deal with City, and I feel coming up against City in the final, after not seeing them for how long, I don't know what happened. It come like in the second half, they froze, because even everyone talks about the tactics and what Pep did, and all due respect to Pep, he changed it up. He put 4 in. Recognise the fact we didn't have a number 10, an Odegaard, an Eze, someone that can drop into the middle and play them passes. And I will say this, I know this will ruffle a lot of feathers, but we miss Thomas Partey. Take away from all what he's got going on outside of football, I think what he did for the team and we saw it in seasons when we didn't have him, when he was injured, to when we did have him, because he spent a lot of time injured, and there was so much more we could have done with him in the team. But Zubimendi is doing flashes of what he's capable of doing, we saw that early on in the season. But since the mistakes and certain things happening, he's gone safe. He's gone very safe because he doesn't want to make a mistake. I don't know, but he isn't finding a way to break the lines like you see him do for Spain, like you saw him do for Real Sociedad. It's just not happening. And in this second half of the season, he's gone a bit quiet. And Pep recognising that, set up this formation of a 4-2-4 or 4-6 or a 6, no midfield and a 4, and completely blind-swapped us. I think a lot of people thought City were going to go and do what they did against us when we played them the first time and sit deep and go into this bank of 10 and defend the line, let us have the ball. And they said, nah, we're actually going to take it to you in a different type of way, in which they did, and it outsmarted us, outclassed us, and you could see we ran out of ideas. When we went 1-0 down, our heads dropped, because I feel like we knew the way that we'd been playing, there was no way of getting back in that game. We allowed City to take control of the game, And it was till later on in the game, after the 75th minute, we probably started to give it a go. But by then it was too late. Arteta not realising when he needed to make a sub, not realising things needed to change sooner in the game. And he got outclassed by Pep. And I think going forward, it's a big lesson. A big lesson. What I hope from this, though, what the players learn from this, I hope it just spears them on. I hope that the embarrassment, the online trolling that they're seeing right now, because they see it, what is going in spears them on to go and win this league. Because what we can't do is allow City to feel they have that mental advantage against us, that we're little bro, that they can just come and take this title away from us and do all of that. Because I feel like that is the energy that the media and everyone else has been trying to put out there. And I said in a previous video that if Arsenal can win it through all of this noise, it'll be one of the best titles they've ever won, because the hate and the noise is loud. But what you can see from this final is that the media and everyone is trying to use this as the catapult to kind of make it even more louder, and we can't get sucked into that. Yes, it was a poor performance. Do I think it's a total bottle and a capitulation of Arsenal right now? No, I don't. They played poorly. Eze was a big loss. You brought Havertz in. Maybe needed a Miles Lewis-Skelly in there, someone that can drive the ball forward and break lines in that sense. The lineup would have done things different. Maybe would have started Martinelli and started Madueke and just did it a little bit different in the final. But maybe brought in Raya. There's a lot of if, buts and maybes that could have been done, but there's all a lot to learn from. What I hope we don't do is go back to our default setting where Arteta plays what he considers to be the strongest 11 in every game, not rotating, taking long to make substitutions because he doesn't know what to do and he's freezing up. And it becomes like that for the second half of the season. We need to quickly reset, get everyone's head back in the game. I like the fact they're withdrawing players from international duty. I like the fact that, it is international. So we've got 2 weeks to kind of refresh our minds, reset. Obviously, you want to go away and play the next game straight away and just get this loss out of the way. But I feel like these players need a rest. I feel like they're burnt out mentally, physically, and they need a rest. It's a lot. The pressure that these players are under to win in this climate is immense, and you can see that it makes their legs heavy. It's the pressure that's on their shoulders to do something. Where I feel like a lot of people were saying, the pressure's on City, going into this cup final. It was like everything is a mind games. Like when it comes to football right now, and when it comes to Arsenal, if City go and win the league, it'll be like, oh my God, City won it in the toughest time to get back. Arsenal are running away with it, and it shows how great they are. Arsenal win it, it's going to be the league is poor. The narratives will never change, and I feel like us as a fan base, we need to just stop even trying to explain things or even try to explain the narratives, because they will never see it that way. Do you know what I mean? It's like it don't meet the agenda. It's like I'll have fans that come to me in the gym and they'll stop me and they'll be like, Arsenal shit. Like, you're not going to lose this week. Or you play long ball. You not play, all you do is play, set piece foot FC, and you don't score any open play goals. And then when you break down the stats and the things to them, and they listen to it and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like they hear it. And then you'll go away and then like that same person will see another Arsenal fan run over to them and say the same thing. It's not about right or wrong with these people. It's about rattling fan base. It's about banter. It's about getting onto man and tricking you out of position. And the thing is, we lower ourselves and get involved every damn time. So when there comes a point where we just can't entertain it anymore, because it's not about right or wrong. It's about who gets triggered. It's about the banter. It's about everything. Even with, you see it with social media, with Gary Neville and all these people, when they say these things that they're saying, Obi Mikel and all of this, he's saying it to trigger a response, to get us rattled, to do these things. So we gotta do our best to ignore all that shit, man. Like, we just gotta get behind the team, push them forward, keep supporting, and keep believing. We're in 3 competitions and we need to come out with 1. At this point, 1 down, Carabao Cup is fine. Would have been nice to do that and then propel us into the league, but it's not happened. We have to just forget it, move on. But we need to stay on course for this league, and I think as a fan base, we need to get behind them, because I was at the Leverkusen game, and you can just sense the nerves. We're nervy. We're nervy. We're all suffering with trauma and PTSD, and we are very nervy. And I think we need to relax. We need to chill. It's hard though, but we need to get behind the team. We need to make the atmosphere noisy at every game. We need to just push these men over the line, because you can see they're struggling to do it. There's a lot. And I feel like one thing I wouldn't say the way we play is hindering us, but because we play a certain way now, you can kind of see this team doesn't know how to switch it on, or if they're allowed to switch it on, or feel comfortable switch it on. Like, you look at City. City can play a certain type of way, which may get them into problems, right? They get the ball down, they try to play football, they can play ugly, they can do it certain ways, but that's their DNA of how they play. Arsenal had that DNA of how they play, but in search of a title, we've changed the way we play. We changed the way that we're more rigid, more robust, more static in the way that we build up and stuff like that. So it's like we've lost the element of the tiki-taka, the getting it down, the Wenger ball, all of that kind of stuff. Arsenal have kind of lost the DNA of that. Not saying they can't. We've seen it in a couple previous seasons. We know how to get down and tiki-taka and play. But it feels like that's not the way that the club wants to play, or the way Arteta wants the players to play. So in that sense, it's like no one's trying to get the ball down and play like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could see with how City was setting up on the weekend, because we don't play between the lines and that tiki-taka, everyone was kind of lost and didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? It's like, if, you know, with teams that play, like, they all of a sudden, these little triangles and little ways of breaking those lines, you start to figure it out. But it's like Pep recognised that Arsenal aren't going to be able to beat this press the way that we set up in this press. And we ended up going along with Kepa and not picking up the second balls. And yeah, it's something to learn. It is definitely something to learn, and you just have to give it to Pep. He got it right. He got it right. But like, I feel less like stressed now. Like, it's happened, it's gone, it's disappointing. I think it affected me for a couple of days. I feel like I made the video straight after, and it's taken me a couple of days to make another one, but I felt like I needed to process and just really assess how I feel about it, because it's disappointing. And you know what, we take this football thing seriously. We are die-hard fans. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I just feel like now we still got a lot to pray for. The quadruples was something you would love to achieve and believe in, and why can't you believe all of this? You know, I see people gaslighting fans into thinking, oh, you know, you lot was chatting about the quadruple and this, that, and all of this stuff, and bearing in mind, half of this stuff isn't coming from Arsenal fans. Yes, when Arsenal fans talk about it, we're within our right to talk about it. We're in all competitions. So if I talk about the quadruple and wanting to achieve the quadruple, it's because I want to believe. Like, why now in football should we not believe? And everyone wants you to be a realist and all of this. But then when Man United beat Arsenal and City and they were 10 points off, they were allowed to believe that it's possible for them to win the league. If Arsenal dropped it, that's what they were doing over there. But they'll be the same ones telling us that, like, how dare you believe that you can win a quadruple, or how dare you think it's on. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're in the competitions, it's possible. Especially if you're a team like Arsenal that aren't, like, you know, that has the capabilities of beating other teams. You'd like to believe that it's there for you to do it. So Yeah, the quadruple's not there, but we are in still for a treble. And for me, I don't really want to focus about, these like trebles, doubles, whatever. For me, I just want us to win something this season. And I think the boys deserve being able to lift something and have that moment. Because I feel like they've put a lot of effort in the last few seasons. And I think going into the summer, I think for a lot of them, this will be their last season at Arsenal. I can see a few players getting sold in the summer, ASAP, new players being brought in, and it'll be a whole new setup going into the new season. So I'd like for some of those players to at least achieve something before the season's out. But yeah, man, we move. Appreciate all the support, everyone that's been looking into the channel, all the new subscribers. And also tell me what you lot think. Let me know what you guys think about how the game played out on the weekend, how City set up, how Arsenal played, what you guys think is going to happen moving forward. Drop that in the comment section. Anything I see, I'll pick up. Maybe in the next video I'll discuss. But yeah, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. Big up yourselves. Love every time for tuning in. Big Dog, and we're out.